I get a lot of emails and questions from buyers who are trying to make sense of Toronto's overheated housing market. But of all the emails and questions, I got one really stood out to me, and I'm going to read it out to you today. It's from Christina, who said, "Hi, John. I love reading about all your real estate takes. I'm a first-time home buyer in Toronto with a 20% down payment for a $700,000 home and have a middle-class family income. I'm finding it infuriating, to say the least, that it appears this isn't even enough to live a comfortable life or break into a market where value intersects with price. Even homes outside of the GTA are soaring, and when you factor in commute expenses, your potential housing savings are lost in commute. Plus, your opportunity costs lost in a 90-minute commute one way. Getting pretty anxious that I may be completely priced out of the market. For 30 somethings looking to start a family, it seems financially impossible. Would love to know your thoughts on waiting to get in, and if we will see a cooling in the market." So looking at Christina's question, I mean, we know that her max budget is 700,000. She's saved $140,000 as a down payment. Her household income has got to be over $100,000 to afford a $700,000 home, which is well above the median income in the GTA. So how hard is it for someone like Christina to get into the market? Well, when we looked at the data, we looked at how many homes, 3-bedroom, sort of low-rise homes, if we think of like family homes that sold in the GTA. Obviously, Christina doesn't want to raise a family in a 500 square foot condo. So to get rid of that, we said, okay, let's look at 3-bedroom homes across the entire GTA. When we did that, when we looked at the first quarter of 2020, about 17% of all homes that sold last year in the first quarter sold for under $700,000. So that's nearly 1 in 5. So it would have been tough to get into the market, but still, a decent number of options if Christina was looking a year ago. Now, when we fast forward to 2021, and when we look at the first quarter of this year, only 3% of home sales in the entire GTA sold for under $700,000. And as Christina noted, most of those are more than a 90-minute commute from Toronto in areas like Clarington and Simcoe, and they're quite far, and many of them are in rough shape. So it's significantly harder for someone, for Christina, to get into the market today than it was a year ago. And for me, this is a massive problem when thinking about all the people and clients that we deal with. When someone who's saved $140,000, has a median household income or a household income that's well above the median, and they can't even buy a home in the city that they work in and live in. It's a fundamental and massive failure of policymakers and our government, who have allowed house prices to just accelerate so quickly, well above household incomes. I mean, Canada's housing boom, it surpasses anything else in the G7. I mean, most of the world, developed world, has seen house prices accelerate, but nothing on the scale that we've seen in Canada. So this is a massive, massive failure that really we're stimulating the market and overstimulating it to fuel house prices. And I think this is the salt in the wound for a lot of first-time buyers, that policymakers are actually pretty ecstatic that house prices are booming, because from their perspective, this is helping our economy recover. And they don't particularly care that it's pricing out an entire generation out of owning a home. So hopefully in the years ahead, we see a government that actually takes more care into affordability in the housing market. Right now, the Liberal government doesn't appear to care very much, but hopefully we'll see some changes in the future that sort of bring a little bit more affordability to the housing market. In my next video, I'll try to answer Christina's question: should a home buyer today wait or jump into the market? It's a little bit more involved, but I'll try to answer that in my next question. If you have any questions of your own, please post them below or send me an email at askjohn@movesmartly.com.